Stuart Ramsey, Sky News, Los Angeles.
Let's get the thoughts now of choreographer Anthony King, of course, who we've been speaking to in recent days. Anthony, thanks for joining us again, because you've been looking at this footage, this extraordinary footage of him in the Staples Center rehearsing. I mean, he does appear, to all intents and purposes, on top of his game.
Very true. In actual fact, if you watch some of his old rehearsal footage, like in the Dangerous Tour, for example, he used to dance a lot less in his rehearsals. He really is going for it, and which is kind of unusual with the footage that I've seen of previous rehearsals. He's really doing it. Same choreography as before, basically, tweaked. Good performance, a good performance, and a pretty energetic rehearsal, even more energetic than maybe Bad Tour, which I've seen in rehearsals, and Dangerous Tour.
Yeah, the one that you've drawn parallels with is I think the '96 tour, which was the History Tour it was called?
Correct. Yes, this choreography is from 1996. It's from the History Tour, and They Don't Care About Us is from the History album. So the choreography is based on that. It's tweaked slightly, but it's basically the same thing. But that said, though, rehearsal-wise, when he was rehearsing for these tours, he used to dance 10 years ago, and even in the Bad Tour, if you watch Bad Tour rehearsal footage, he does not dance. He walks almost, you see him wearing a big jacket, and just walk through it. But this, he's actually really dancing and going for it. Musically, it sounds really great. You can really hear the backing singers. It sounds really great. The dancers, I mean, you can see that it's a rehearsal. It sounds like maybe the music is a work in progress as well. It's a lot of samples, and it sounds like it's some parts are temporary, but it sounds really good, and great live guitars as well.
Yeah, the conclusion then, one more, is that this is not someone just going through the motions, just going through the numbers. He really means business, and clearly a major show, because there have been the reports that he was preparing just, 13 minutes on stage for the O2 Centre.
Well, yeah, I think that's silly. 13 minutes is, I mean, one or two songs is 13 minutes. But yes, obviously he was really going for it. You can see all the pictures and the footage yourself. He really was going for it, and even more so, obviously, which is...
And can we ask the question, therefore, because obviously the investigation is still going on as to what happened leading up to his death. I mean, could that, in what he's doing, have put an enormous strain on his body if, for instance, he hadn't been exercising for some time? I mean, what sort of physiological stress do you put on the body doing those sorts of dance moves?
Well, yes, it is a case of preparation, but that said, he's been doing this all his life. The This Is It tour was not, in actual fact, it wasn't really a tour. I mean, the History Tour was a lot bigger. The Bad Tour was a lot bigger, in a sense that he was flying around the world and he was performing more dates. This is something that he's been doing all of his life. So, in that sense, I don't feel that it's just a case of preparation. He had his crew around him. He had his team that would have been helping him. I know that the Incredible Hulk was helping him train. So, I think, you know, it's just a case of, it's his business to prepare. I think it's obviously a lot of stress. He does look a little bit thin, but again, you just build up. It's a stressful time working on a tour. So I'm guessing that, and he's got a lot of business activity as well. So he's probably just building up to it. And this was it was obviously a work in progress, but it was looking really good. And
of course, all that adds to the tragedy of what's happened. But Anthony, thank you very much indeed for your views joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And apologies for the interruption there on the sound signal. We'll certainly get